who's under the mask?
Oh yeah. So these are our
reveal?
lovely dancers.
Ta-da!
We have Riley, Chloe, and Victoria. And so they were also the rabbits. They were also the rabbits during that part, and they were also the soldiers and the chamberlain. So they played 3 characters each. Yeah. Other questions? How about right here? Great question. So how long did it take to make the costume? Stacy's coming. She'll say hello. This is Stacy Loeb, our costume manager and designer. The question was, how long did it take to make the costumes and to get it all ready?
I bought most of the costumes online, and I started ordering them on Halloween. And then I only had a week to do fittings and alterations to have them ready for first dress.
Yeah. So Stacy meets with them all, and they try everything on, and then she makes any adjustments, and she has some helpers as well. And yeah, luckily, there's a few less people in the show, but we just did a production of Carmen in October. And Stacy, how many costume pieces were in that?
I blacked it out. It almost killed me. There was 65 people in the cast, and was it 165 pieces that we had to touch. So every little like pants, shirt,
oh yeah,
vest.
Almost every person had 3 costumes plus multiple pieces for everything. So I think it was something like 500 or 600.
Was it? Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. Great.
650.
650. That's one. In the back row. Yeah.
Remember all of the key notes for the piano?
Oh yeah. So this piece had a lot of piano music. So sometimes when you see operas, it'll be with a whole orchestra. This time we just did it with piano. But same thing. I've been doing this for a long time, so luckily I was able to learn it fairly quickly. But I'd say it probably took me about 2 weeks to learn it. But I've been doing this for about 25 years, so it gets easier as you get older.
Longer than all of you have been alive.
Same thing about like how long most people's preparation probably was, like a month and a half.
Yeah.
About that.
I mean, we're just talking about learning the notes for
And
this.
the words.
Yeah, just for this piece, probably.
It's a lot of work to get.
And then we rehearsed for about 1 week. It was a little weird because it was right during Thanksgiving, so we had a few days off, a few days on. And the dancers are amazing. I think they had like 1 rehearsal with us, and they did you all choreograph that yourselves?
With the help of Meredith.
Okay, so they're part of the professional track at State Street Ballet, and so Meredith, their teacher, also helped choreograph it. How about you?
Is she a designer?
Which one?
Stacy.
Stacy, so Stacy is our costume manager and designer for certain shows. So some shows she designs, some shows we have guest costume designers.
Does she design in my cooking?
Oh, do you do any film work?
I don't like film work. I'd rather do theater. No, to be honest, I'd rather do theater and opera because it's a better.
Oh no, she does.
concept.
What was that? No, he was asking if you design for like do you design your own like clothing line or anything?
No, I just style myself.
She just designs something, yeah. So she designs for theater and for opera mostly. So, let's see. I haven't seen anyone from this side. How about that? How did you learn how to sing this?
Great question.
I think we all went to school for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all studied opera.
Do you all have master's degrees?
Working on doctorate.
Yeah.
But
So most everyone
take,
has at least a college degree and a bachelor's. Some have a master's degree. Colin and Christina are working on their doctorate degree right now here in Santa Barbara. So lots of training, but then also they all study with voice teachers. And so
How did they start? Did you guys start choir?
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When you were their age, what were you doing in music?
I played drums in a rock band when I was your age, and then I joined choir because I heard we got to go on a field trip to Six Flags roller coasters, and I thought I get to miss school and I get to go, so I'll do that. So I joined choir, and I actually kind of had a lot of fun doing it, and then that's how and then I started taking voice lessons.
I was singing country music in a tractor.
Yep.
And then I was like, Oh, singing's fun. Let's try that.
Yeah, you were a horse girl.
I was.
Michael, what?
Oh, I started with, I did like musical theater in like high school, and I did choir. And I also started with like barbershop quartet kind of stuff, and then it just kind of, I just kind of tried a bunch of stuff, and it just kind of landed in this this kind of comfy bowl.
Omar, you were a little different.
Yeah, I didn't start singing until I got to community college. But before then, I played guitar in like metal bands for like a couple of years.
He's also a really good mariachi singer.
Yes, very good mariachi.
What's your TikTok?
I'm also a mariachi singer. You can follow me on TikTok.
I actually started singing when I was your age, from elementary school. I went to I got into this children's choir and did like a bunch of competitions and went to art middle school and art high school. So I've been singing quite a while. So.
When did you all start dancing?
Oh, I started when I was 3.
3?
Yeah, I actually did musical theater and then ballet and modern.
Pretty fun.
I started when I was 13, which was later than most of my years.
Oh, cool.
I started when I was 11, also with musical theater, and then I went to ballet.
Okay, some more. Let's see, in the Black Heidi. Who's the main character? Well, so there's a few ways to determine that. In this one, I'd go by the title. So El Gato con Botas, I'd say
El
the
Gato.
Gato is the main character in this song.
Quick, take her boots, then she's no longer.
Yeah. So sometimes it's the title, but we always like to say there's no small parts, right? You need every piece to tell the story. So yeah. Right here. Oh, did you ask?
Yep.
Yes.
Right here?
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, how do they put the ears on? Was that a costume or is that a hair makeup?
Mar.
Mar. So this is Mar. She's our lovely makeup and wig designer for the show.
So the ears are just, they're pinned in with lots of bobby pins and hairpins into, she's got the wig on and her hair is under that wig, and then the ears are pinned on into that, same as his horns, or those were made out of a hanger. And
Not our real hair.
Yeah, believe it or not, we don't look like this all the time. I swear I'm not this old.
Yeah. And Mar, what kind of other work do you do?
I do a lot of opera wigs and makeup. I've been working for Opera Santa Barbara for a long, long time. And I do hair and makeup at LinkedIn for their LinkedIn Learning videos for their authors. And then I also am a performer myself.
Great. Thanks, Mar. How about in the back? Yeah.
I wonder who.
That's a great question. So, Bryn Jones is our stage manager. She was up there. Also, Jessica Hetrick, our Jessica ran the super titles, so the English translation. But Bryn, why don't you tell everyone what a stage manager does?
Okay. Hi, I'm Bryn, the stage manager. I helped to run rehearsals for one, so I made sure everybody had their schedules. I made sure rehearsals ran on time and got everything we needed to get through. And I do lots of stuff, just managing, make sure everything goes okay. And then during the show, I sit up there and I follow along in the big score of all the music, and I know when all the I've written in my book when all the lights are supposed to change, when in other shows when set pieces move on, when all of that. I have that all written out in my big book, and over a headset or out loud I say, "And lights number 17, go now."
She keeps the ship running.
Yeah.
So we can't do this without stage managers. And Bryn does a great job. So thank you, Bryn. What was that? How long? So I think makeup calls today started at 8:30. Is that correct? So some people, I'd say the most was about an hour and a half. Some of them take about no
one took more than an hour.
Oh, an hour.
Everyone basically had an hour except Omar just has He didn't take that long because he's so pretty now.
He's so beautiful.
All the cat makes.
So yeah, it depends on the show and the needs. So obviously, they take a little longer. But yeah, so about an hour for everyone. Luckily not too early in the morning. In the background? Yeah. So languages in opera, it's something that we talked earlier about. They all went to school. That's something we all study when you're studying opera. Usually operas are in French, German, Italian, or English, but there's a lot being performed now in Spanish as well. So Opera Santa Barbara, in the last couple of years, we've done several operas in Spanish. We've done Il Tostino, we did this piece today, El Gato con Botas, we did mariachi opera, Cruzar la Cara de la Luna. Am I missing another?
Yeah, the double bill.
Oh yeah, and then what was that
It
called?
wasn't Vita Breve, it was...
Il Tabarro and El Amor
Oh, that's
Brujo.
what, yeah.
So we've done several operas in Spanish. So I don't know, did anyone take specifically a Spanish class in undergrad or in school?
Yeah, I did. It was actually particularly it was Spanish canciones, so it's like Castilian Spanish, and working on all this stuff. It was just like there's a class that goes over like the international phonetic alphabet, so you can write down like all what it's an alphabet that you use to figure out how it sounds phonetically if you're going to sound it out. And we learn 5 songs, and we get used to singing Spanish language.
Omar, will you talk a little bit about, so you're a native Spanish speaker.
Yeah.
Will you talk a little bit about how like Spanish, when you're singing an opera like this, is different from spoken Spanish?
Yeah, so Spanish is my first language, but even so, it is different, like the way that you sing it versus the way that you speak it. I think one of the main things is that you have longer notes. So like a lot of times, like I would never say like por Dios la boda. Yeah, I'd be like por Dios la boda. So you have to like make sure that your vowels are long. The other thing too is that this is from Spain, so I don't know if you guys noticed. Raise your hand if you speak Spanish. Does anyone speak Spanish? Okay, yeah. So did you? That's like everybody.
I love that.
Yeah. Did you guys notice that there was a little bit, like there were little differences in the pronunciation? Like instead of like a veces, we were saying a veces. That's because this opera is from Spain and they speak it a little bit differently over there, kind of like American English versus British English. So for me, it was easier to learn the words, but I always had to be like thinking about like, okay, it's not Mexican Spanish, so like I can't say what I normally say. So.
Great question. How about right here?
This guy's- yeah.
Well, so they all are, everyone speaks English, but I think we have a few Spanish speakers. Omar speaks Spanish. Does anyone else speak Spanish? Victoria, I speak some Spanish. And yeah, so.
Just trying to not sing it.
So usually when you do something in an opera, you know exactly what you're saying at every moment, but you might not speak the whole language. But you know everything that you're saying in that opera. So we have a lot of language work in a lot of different languages, and besides French, German, Spanish, Italian, and English, what other, I'm guessing Russian?
Russian.
Czech?
Czech. I haven't
Has anyone
done Czech.
sung in any other?
Latin.
Cantonese,
I
Mandarin?
haven't done Chinese.
I'd love it.
Anyway, but yeah, so operas are sung in all different languages, and I saw a production of Magic Flute sung in Swahili. It's really cool. Right here. Anyone speak fluently 3?
Yeah. I speak English, Spanish, and German.
There you go. Hey. Right next to me. Oh, right here. Yeah, you. No, luckily, sometimes if anything, I might just get mentally tired, but physically, don't get too tired, luckily. But yeah, I'm used to playing many hours a day. So. Do any of you play instruments? Who plays piano?
No, I do not.
Nice, a few of you. Well, so normally in the opera, we have a whole orchestra underneath the stage in a place called the pit usually, and that's all types of instruments. Pretty much we need all the instruments to play that. So, ready? Will you say something in German for us?
Hallo, mein Name ist Omar und ich habe 31 Jahre, ich bin 31 Jahre alt und ich bin so froh, dass Sie hier sind. I'm so happy that you guys are here. And I said my name. My name's Omar. How old I am.
You have to speak German to know how old he is.
Yeah.
We have time for a few more questions, and then I think probably your buses are going to be here. Right here in the front. Yeah. So memorization. Any tricks for memory?
So I like to write it. So I have a little notebook, and I look like, if you saw it, you'd think I was crazy, because it's just the words to operas and songs just written over and over and over. Like, you know when you get in trouble, your teachers ever make you write, I will not, throw garbage in class. Chalkboard. Yeah, on a smartboard. Yeah, I do that for my opera lyrics.
So everyone kind of finds their own technique to help you learn, but luckily they all have to learn operas. They've been doing it for a long time, and they have to learn them quickly. So you kind of find your own natural process, but you just like you all learn differently. Some people are visual learners. Some people like to listen over and over again. Some people are kinesthetic learners, so they have to have like emotion to them. So yeah, everyone kind of finds their own way. Right here, over here. Yeah, the throne.
Magic.
Well, I want to introduce someone else to you. Well, first of all, we haven't introduced Josh yet. Josh is our director. Josh. So Josh directed everyone. He also designed the whole concept of the show. But he had a great helper in a lot of these pieces, and that's Teresa Scarano right here. And Teresa is our props master. So Teresa handles all of the props that you saw, so the bubble guns, which great job, thank you, and all the swords and all of the things that the characters handle. But also in this show, she also did some extra duty, and she helped with some of the set building, and one of those pieces being this throne. Can you tell us how it moves and how it works? Yeah. Why don't we turn it this way so they can see both
sides, yeah.
So it's actually both thrones are on either side. So that way you can just switch what place we're in, and that way the dancers were able to be behind when the ogre was transforming. That's how it all worked. They were actually behind there the whole time, and then looked right around. But yeah, how did this wizardry come about?
The platform it's on is called a wagon. Any platform with wheels in theater is basically called a wagon. This is called a flat theater. This one is made out of plywood and covered with vinyl that we had printed with the images on it. And then it was just a case of finding the two chairs for the props. That's another thing I do, is trying to find stuff.
Teresa is great at finding stuff. So usually what happens is she gets a list before the opera that says, these are the props I want, but things always change in the room. So, and Teresa's always in there in rehearsals with us, and it's amazing. Some will say, oh, I wonder if we could do this. And she does it so quickly. Can you show the painting and the scroll? And there's some things that you can see, but there's a lot of things that you can't see that are really great in terms of detail. So this was the painting that the cat did at the end. That was actually a photo that we took, and then Josh sent it through an AI to make it look like a painting. And then Teresa had it printed up on canvas. And then this is the scroll that, and look how beautifully detailed the scroll is. And it actually has all the words that Christina has to sing. So she didn't have to memorize all of that. But I'm going to change the words for her tomorrow so she messes it up. Okay, I think we got time for like 2 more questions. How about right here?
I was going to take like memorize that, memorize I, and
So we started rehearsals the week before Thanksgiving. So it's really been a pretty quick process. Probably about 10 total days that we've spent on this. But yeah, some operas it takes about a month, and some you have a week, and you never know. It always kind of depends. Let's see. I don't think I've heard from you. Yeah. Oh yeah, so the stage. So this space is the least amount of time that we get in, because it's by this point this is when we get into text. So then we add some other elements. So we all rehearse in a room that's not here for a while, and that's just Josh, myself playing piano, the singers, the dancers, and Britt. Then when we move into the theater, we get to introduce Stacy, Mar, and then also Helena. Helen, wave hi. Helena is our lighting designer. So Helena puts together all of the lighting cues with the director and with Kai, who is the technical director. I don't know if Kai's here. But Kai is the technical director of the Center Stage Theater. So we moved in here on Sunday? Sunday we moved into here. On Monday they had some time to load everything in. They started doing some of the light cueing. Then that afternoon, we had a rehearsal with all of us. Tuesday, we had more cueing time with just the director and the designers. And then we had a dress rehearsal Tuesday night. We had a dress rehearsal last night. And then that's where we are. So those are pretty much all. I think those are almost all of the jobs that went into this show. Am I forgetting anyone's contributions? I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, so you can see that opera, and this is a smaller, shorter opera, but you could see how much talent goes into a performance, and not just a performer. So if you like theater, if you like working with others, if you like creating art, that's really what opera is all about. It's about creating an art form that puts together all of these things into one place. And but next time we're going to swap the roles. So we're going to have Teresa sing and dance next time, and we'll all make the props. And yeah. So I hope you had a good time today. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to welcoming your 4th graders tomorrow. And we hope to see you at another function in the future. So thanks again.